Hey sweetie, this is my first time trying to do video on the webcam with webcam software. I'm not really sure if it's working or not, so I was gonna do a test, but I really don't feel like it. Today was a day. On the positive, as I told you, the person who stole my skillet returned it, in the kitchen at work. So that was good. Some other stuff, I'm running into the problem that I guess is always a problem, where I sometimes wonder if there's if I'm not a scary monster, if maybe there's an invisible one that follows me around and people can see it but I can't, and so they talk with me and interact with me as minimally as possible. And when they do, it's almost like, I don't want to say that they're afraid, but they're just they definitely have better things to do. And it took a while, it took active work to get my hairdresser today. It was a new one because it was a last minute appointment, to actively get her to talk to me. She asked what I wanted and I told her just a trim, which turned out to be a 4-inch trim, by the way. My hair is so short. Well, I mean, I guess not by technically short, but look how short it is. Look at it. It's so short, but it feels good. She cut 4 inches off of it and it was overdue, so it's boob length now. I don't really know how else to describe the length, that's just how long it is. But it's kind of a mess because I was sweating on the way home because it's a bajillion degrees, which I'm sure, as you know, is kind of a pain, so. But I do dig it. It's still too hot in here though, but so yeah, it took her an hour and a half because my hair's really thick. And when she first started off, she was like, well, your hair is on the coarse side. And I'm like, no. I mean, I know it's thick, but I didn't think it was actually coarse. Because I've seen your hair and we've talked about that. But then after she washed it and cut it and everything and started straightening it, she was like, oh, well, I guess when you straighten it, it's not that coarse. So, I don't know, but I'm on the baby end of coarseness. I don't deal with the majesty of what you have, so, but it was okay. I mean, it was just, I guess, I mean, I've tried reaching out for so long. I miss people, I miss interaction, I miss human beings that treat me like a human being, instead of I'm from another country. No, because even people from other countries, I think, maybe from another planet. So yeah, that was kind of, I mean, it's something I should be used to by now, but I don't know, it's kind of been that way for a long time. I guess I harken back to, I mean, in high school, when you remember the high school that we went to, it was kind of that way. And then college, I found a group of people that understood and didn't treat me like an alien. And so for a brief stint in college, there were people who understood me, and then now I'm back to square one where I'm a big scary monster. And I don't understand it. I mean, some people at work try to say, oh, it's your intellect, and I think that's a dumb reason to treat somebody like they're a big scary monster. And I don't really believe that. I don't think I'm all that. I'm not a genius or anything. But it's isolating, and today was kind of icing on the cake that it's not even my work, my hairdresser, hairdressers are notorious for being super talkative, just wasn't, so she didn't, yeah, she seemed really unhappy about the whole thing. But to try to fight the stereotype, I gave her a really nice tip, because she did do a good job. I mean, like I said, it's shorter than I was expecting. I know I'm looking behind, but my monitor is up there. But, wow, it's a huge difference. This camera is so weird. It's like normal hands, giant hands. Sorry, it's been such a long day, and I didn't get a lot of sleep, and yeah. So yeah, I left her a nice tip, because maybe one day, like, I hope that that will change her mind one day. Maybe she'll not treat people like me that way in the future. So yeah. But I got the exfoliator stuff, and by the end of it I did get her, like, I think she saw the tip that I gave her on the thing, because you do them separately, like your haircut and the product, because I don't think the lady, but yeah, anyway. And so she was like super helpful and really nice about the exfoliator thing, and I actually recommended another one too for once a week. And I was kind of leery on it, and she let me try it, and it's wonderful. So I got both of them, which means I spent a lot more money than I probably should have, but it's just been that kind of day. So, plus all the overtime that I've had lately, covered it completely. So yeah, I think that's about it. We have our Google Hangout tonight, for which I'm very excited. I don't have any plans this weekend. I need to clean. And, yeah, that's about it. Apply for jobs some other place than here. Honestly, like, I'm really proud. Like, I can look at how far I've come. A year ago, this feeling would have just crushed me, and I would not be making this video because I would be curled up in a little ball, sleeping away the world, because that's how I handled things a year ago. Because it was so isolating, like a plunge into ice cold water from having, you know, people who know and understand you in college, even though some of that, there were other issues that I was really stressed about, to this place, you know, and especially like what I told you about, I'm trying to be a little more careful. I know our hangout before I was not careful at all with how I described things. I told you about the detective, and I'm trying to find another code name. The detective is a pretty good code name for the one. But anyway, you know which situation I'm talking about. We talked to you about this on G-Chat. It was kind of sobering. Like, honestly, it's not like I wanted anything from the other party. You know, it's not like I expected anything or had wanted to pursue anything. But to be treated the way that I've been treated, just offhanded, almost insulting, like, you know, just, again, the affirmation, like, it seems like there are quite a few people who are insistent on making me know that they think nothing of me, that they think I am nothing. And it's like, I don't really care much about your opinion, but I'm going to be polite about it because I didn't ask for your opinion. I'm not telling you what to think of me or of anybody else. And if for some strange reason, despite the fact that I have been nothing but helpful, and compassionate and kind and gentle, I'm still treated, you know, it's almost like they have something to prove, and I don't understand at all. And so I think that that's where it hurts the most, is that someone like Detective can be rude and crude and uncaring and harsh and just abrasive and mean. Like, I mean, just not even, like... Detective is the kind of person that will meet somebody and in less than a second determine the kind of person you are, and nothing you can ever do will change that. Ever. And I think that I find that to be very narrow-minded and very rude, and you know, and Detective doesn't keep that thought in. I'm trying not to assign pronouns to this. It's just... it's pretty terrible, and for that to be preferable, you know, for that to be rewarded, you know, to have somebody... I'm sorry, I didn't finish that previous thought. to have somebody spread their opinion, which is completely baseless. You know, there's no evidence to back it up whatsoever. To take that opinion and spread it to others and tell those people, oh, that's the kind of person that Kat is, or that's the kind of person that so-and-so is. You know, it's like, you don't know me. We're not friends. I deal with this person, you know, civilly, like a grown-up adult who can set aside the petty crap, but it's very hurtful to have somebody tell others what to think of me, and then to have those other people believe them without giving me a chance to defend myself, or even to establish, like, you know, they're not giving me a fair chance to show them who I am. And it shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't. It shouldn't bother me. I know it shouldn't, but it does. Even though that I know that these are not people that you know, if they're not going to give me the chance to show them who I am, or even to get to know me, then they're obviously not people that I'm going to miss. You know, I miss out on being friends with anyway. And so it's frustrating, and it seems like the world is rewarding that person. I mean, just like everything, just everyone loves that person, and everything just falls from the sky to benefit, and it's so frustrating, you know, and I don't understand. And I guess that the notion of karma is not something that I should expect to see personally in my personal life. I'm sure that, you know, long-term consequences of our actions, if we are awful people, then the goodness of good people, you know, that you're making snap decisions on. I mean, detective will never know me. And not to be so arrogant as to say that I am something special to be worth knowing, but I'm sure there are other people who can give more to the world that person will never know, because they will make snap judgments and completely disregard them, and anybody else who believes their word will never have the opportunity to get to know people like me. So maybe that's the karma. You know, it's not a punishment, but when you're a certain kind of person, you're going to miss out on certain opportunities. And maybe, you know, again, I don't think that knowing me would be such a great gift to anybody's life, but that's not self-depreciation, that's just, I'm not arrogant. But I'm sure there are people out there who would be turned off by that kind of behavior that could bring a much greater light than myself into that person's life. And it was all very complicated, but I trust that you kept up. And if not, you can just ask me for clarification. But I don't know, it's just frustrating. And the thing is, this isn't the first time this has happened. You know, there was a situation in college where there was a girl who made, like, all these crazy accusations about me. I mean, they were, like, wild. And people who knew me, who had known me for years, believed her. And it took me several more years to get them to understand, like, I could not defend myself at all. They all believed her immediately. And then it was over the years that they slowly realized her descent into crazy. And never apologized, not once. And, you know, and I don't think they realize that that's still a crack, you know, that's still something that I deal with, that's painful to me. And then same thing happened, same group of friends, just a few years ago, when some guy, you know, turned a situation that was between the two of us, totally misrepresented it to them, and even though he and I agreed not to get our friends involved, he turned to them and gave them this whole, you know, made himself look perfect, and framed the whole situation to look like I was just this horrible, evil person, and none of them asked me for my side of the story again. And it hurts, because you have people who are important to me, but who obviously are so quick to think that negatively of me, you know, and never once ask my side of the story. And it's hurtful, because I wish that they valued me more. So I guess that's what that comes down to. But I am strong, and I am tough, and I am bulletproof. And little things like that, the opinions of others, they can hurt me, but I grow stronger because of them. They're still my friends, you know, because that's part of life. It's not like some movie where somebody treats you badly and you can just, you know, walk away because you have the higher moral ground. You know, I mean, both of those situations were complicated, certainly, but I would be more than happy to tell my side if they wanted to hear it. But both times when I tried to defend myself from, like, just very snide comments about the situation, like, just all backhanded, snide comments, and I'm like, that's actually not what happened. Well, no, we know what happened. And I'm like, really? Because you didn't ask, and you cannot get a full picture by only hearing one side of the story, but none of them cared enough. And I suppose that's kind of the story of my life. And I don't know what it is about me that inspires people to just not care to listen to me. I wrote a short story a very long time ago about being the descendant of Cassandra, the Greek, I think, prophetess, seer, whatever, who had the ability to see the future but was cursed by one of the gods. It's been a long day, I'm sorry. I want to say it was Poseidon, but I could be wrong. They should have the power to see the future, but nobody would ever believe her. And so I wrote this whole short story about the descendants of Cassandra, and how there were, like, a lot of them, and they met up, and they would believe each other. Like, it wasn't always, like, seeing the future. They all had different gifts, and they would have, like, a convention every year because they were the only, like, only each other, like, only descendants of Cassandra would believe each other, and how, like, people just didn't understand that, like, they would have these tight-knit, you know, there would be, like, 2 or 3 of them that would live in a city, or, you know, they would move, and so they would be closer together, because that feeling of having nobody ever seem to understand you or believe you is very painful. And so in that way, I mean, I didn't put myself in it, but I put, you know, that pain into it. Excuse me, I should have made some tea before this. Actually, I have a bottle of water somewhere. I think it's downstairs. So yeah, and it was somewhat cathartic to write, because, you know, it was just having other people who experienced the same thing, and they had a society, the Daughters of Cassandra Society, and there were people who would try to, like, oh, I want to be a daughter of Cassandra. Like, no, you can't be, because you're not. And I don't think I ever finished the story. Maybe I should. Maybe I should just rewrite it. I don't know. But yeah, that's pretty much how it boils down to. Yeah, apparently I can't speak today. But that's what it boils down to, is just that something about me is off-putting to others, and then people just don't care to hear my side of the story. It's, for some reason, it's so easy for them to believe that I am a crass and inconsiderate bitch, when I try so hard to be considerate and understanding and compassionate. And, I mean, like, that same person, that same guy, sat there and frickin', I mean, had abused his ex-girlfriend, and I was ready to drop him. I was like, no, I can't be friends with that. But his ex-girlfriend was like, no, he really needs people, and to, you know, get him into therapy and all of that, and I need you guys to be there for him and convince him to do the right thing. And so, based on that, you know, I did that, and I did a whole lot of soul-searching, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna set that aside. You know, he's going into therapy, you know, counseling and all, and everything, and people deserve second chances and all of that. And I was understanding and compassionate, and this was the dude that was, like, calling me almost every day. Not like he wasn't interested in me, but I was, like, his sounding board. And I finally drew the line at, I pulled up my cell phone bill, which, I mean, I have unlimited minutes, but it has the hours. And I listed by his number, and, like, in a month, actually it's, like, less than a month, he had called me. There had been over 24 hours of phone time. And I'm like, okay, there's an issue here. You need to be calling your other friends. You can't just keep calling me, because I have stresses of my own that I don't dump, that I don't dump on other people, because of the nature of what I do. And that was the start of our big issue. And, but that's not what he told everybody else. And the thing was, like, a couple of them were angry with me because I wouldn't talk to him anymore. Like, I wouldn't answer his phone calls. And I'm like, look, I told him that he needs to stop calling me, because he's been calling, you know, my hours are insane with the hours of him calling me. And plus with the work that I do and needing some downtime, and it was just drama 24/7 all day, every day with him, and I felt like I was enabling that. And so I told him, like, you know, maybe he should call his other friends, that I just needed a break, because, and I explained about the phone hours and all of that, but that's not what he told them. And so I'm the bad guy, again. So anyway, I wish people valued what I had to say. I wish people valued my opinion and my experiences, and I just wish I were valued in general. So yeah, I don't know how I got off on that tangent. It's just old hurts, I guess. Old pain. But I know life is what we make it, and so once I move away from here, wherever it is that I get a job, we shall see. But I think that a larger community, there's more of an opportunity to meet with people, and I think that's what it was with college. It was such a large number of people with varied interests from all over, and so there was bound to be a group, and I found it. Two of them, actually, that were very separate. There was very little crossover between the two, into which I fit. So I think wherever I go, it needs to be maybe a bit larger. Where I'm here is a tiny community. I mean, tiny, relatively speaking. The group of my peers or people within a range. Anyway, I'm beginning to babble. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to try to upload it. If it doesn't work, then I have just babbled incoherently to myself, which I feel better, so, you know. Sorry, I had to pop my back. I'll see you on the Google Hangout, and I'll probably brew tea. I know you said you're going to be drinking, but I'm not feeling it. I have to be in the mood to drink, and even though today wasn't a great day, I really just want, like, some tea. Tea is kind of my thing, which, I mean, I know it's your thing too, but, I don't know. Yeah. Fun fact, before I was setting up, as I was setting up this video, getting my camera out and setting it up on the thing and all, my bra strap snapped, like broke completely in half, so I had to go dig up another one. I did laundry the other day, and so they're all nicely packed and everything in the drawer, hence having to dig them out, because they were all, like, anyway, I'm not going to talk about my bra. But yeah, that was just sort of the poetic end to my day, that even my bra could no longer support me. It just gave up, just snapped. So, yeah. Anyway, life's not that bad. It's just, I figure, you know, I'm due to catch a break. You know, I think if there's any justice in the world, it's time for me to just throw me a bone, universe, you know. Just give me a better job and a better place. That's all I want. That's it. I'm not asking for riches, although living comfortably would be nice. I'm not asking for riches. I'm not asking for Prince Charming. I'm not asking for anything fancy. I try really hard to be a good person. I try so hard to do the right thing, even though doing something for my own benefit would be easier. And I just feel like, I mean, I'm still going to do that. That's who I am. You know, I'm still going to try my hardest to be a good person. But sometimes I feel like no good deed goes unpunished, you know? It's kind of frustrating. It just occurred to me you might have heard the dryer throughout this entire video. My roommate's laundry is going, so yeah. Sorry about that. I'm not re-recording this. I have no idea how long this video is. I'm still working on this software, so. Anyway, I love you, sweetie, and I will talk to you on Hangout soon. So, bye. If I can, how do I stop this thing? Okay, bye.